I should be like you, Mel.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Cherries fans from around the world. Welcome again to a pretty sunny Tuesday morning for myself at Cherry AM. Also welcome my co-host Sean this morning. How are you, Sean?
Yeah, not too bad. Not so sunny here though. It's a bit drizzly.
Yeah, I seem to get that impression that it's a bit sunnier up here than it is in Dorset at the moment.
Yeah, it's certainly I've got a swimming pool outside and it's only filling up at the moment.
Nice. We have got a pretty decent show for you today. Obviously, yesterday was transfer deadline day. Last night, there was another show released as well from some of the guys. Please do go and check that out if you haven't already, as well as Cherry Slaps from last night too. But let's get into it. There is already a number of people in the chat. So Darren Hurst, hi guys, in a meeting, so we'll jump in as soon as finished. Cherry Down Under. Cheers, Daz. Appreciate that. Malcolm says cancel the meeting, Darren. There should be no excuse to not be involved in Cherry AM. Paul, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Malcolm Chiverton, good morning, Ollie, Sean, and everyone in the chat. Morning, Malcolm.
Morning.
Thanks for joining me yesterday on Cherry Slaps again. It was fantastic to have you there. David DaCosta, morning all. Morning, David. Liam Humby, good morning, everyone. Up the Cherries. Morning, Liam. Hope you're well, mate.
Up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries, yeah. Malcolm Chiverton, hi, Paul, David, and Liam. Paul from Oz, hi, guys. Morning to all. Paul from Oz. Hi, Mal. You did good taking over Cherry Slaps. Nice. Yeah, he's a brilliant addition to the show, Paul. I cannot complain at all. Chris Hubble, morning, everyone. Morning, Chris. Again, joined on the show last night. Thanks for getting involved. Liam Hubby, hi, Malcolm. Malcolm, Paul from Oz is in the house. Good day, mate. Making sure we get our Australian greetings out of the way nice and early. Paul Sants, thanks, buddy. David DaCosta, Solanke out with ankle problem. Medical team deciding if he needs surgery. He'll be out for a while. Oh, that's not great news for him.
No.
It's a shame. Nick Gillings, good morning, lads. Enjoyed the shows yesterday. Looking forward to this. Morning, Nick. Thanks for being there. Darren Hirsch, great Cherry Slaps show. Ollie and Malcolm. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate you getting involved and watching, mate. That's awesome. Chris Hubble, morning, Ollie. Morning, Chris. Yeah, awesome bit of chat this morning. Ton of people watching already, which is fantastic. And what I'm going to do is, I think, essentially turning into our resident ladies watcher, really, aren't you, Sean? You're at most games at the minute. You seem to be heavily embedded in what's going on with cup games and fixtures. So please fire away and give us all the updates.
Yeah, I'm certainly trying to get more into the ladies and that. gets me out with the kids and that, so it gives the missus a bit of peace as well. So, but yeah, I went to the game Sunday. They played Exeter.
Yeah.
In the first half, it was completely dominant. It was similar to against Tottenham, really. The only difference is Exeter did have one chance in the first half, and they scored it in the 11th minute. In the second half, it was a lot more equal. In fact, I would say maybe Exeter slightly edged it, but they got 2 yellow cards in the second half, so they had players sent off, which actually, well, writing it down, I think that's now 3 red cards in 3 games. So this card seems to be becoming quite a common thing in the ladies' fixtures. But yeah, later on, Mrs. Senesi, Kelsey Bowers, basically nicked the ball off the Exeter player, passed it back to Markham, and done a beautiful strike, making it 1-1. Which, when I searched, it made it to, I believe, 910 days without losing in the league. So it's only not too bad.
Yeah. Addressing her as Mrs. Senesi. I like that. Is it on the cards for them guys? Are they engaged? Is there anything about that, or is that just?
I just know they're together. I haven't actually looked into that much stuff.
Interesting, nice. I like that. I love it. Yeah,
I know. Craig's said Mrs. Nessie before, so I thought I'd start making that name. But yeah, absolutely amazing. And I say, people, if they can, should come down to it. It's free to watch, so it's not like it costs anything. And yes, I say it's nice to go to smaller grounds as well. You don't get that experience that too often nowadays. And yeah, it's really good fun. I say, 3 cards so far and 3 games of sending offs. One for us, 2 for the opposition. So yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And where does that put us now in the table? I believe we're still top, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still top. I think there's 3 of us or 4 of us on 7 points now.
That's right.
But we've got the better goal difference.
That's correct. Yeah. So Bournemouth and Watford all on 7 points. We've got a goal difference of 8, and second place is Lewis on a goal difference of 3.
Yeah, and I feel a bit. I was going to say a little bit of sympathy for Billericay. I didn't write their name. Sure, it's Billericay Town.
Yep.
They played 3 games, and I think they're on like -21, -22.
Bless them.
I think they're conceding about 7-8 goals a game. So if they manage to do the whole season, the ladies, congratulations to them, because I wouldn't be able to cope with that. But
no,
yeah, bless them.
Quite a large goal difference as well by the time the end of the season comes.
Yeah, I say average about 7 goals a game so far. So don't know if there was a record, but yeah, there could be a record broken if they manage to keep going full season.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, and then up and coming for them at the minute.
Yeah, so they're going to be playing Moneyfields Sunday 2:00 kickoff, and that's in the FA Women's National League Cup. A little bit of history on it, because it started in the 91-92 season as the Women's Premier League Cup, where levels 1 and 2 was in it. In 2010 to 2013, levels 2 and 3 were only in it. And then in the 13-14 season, it was only levels 3 and 4. Obviously, Bournemouth women are now in level 3. It was changed to the National League Cup in the 18-19 season. The way it works is similar to a certain cup that Bournemouth men won, the Windscreen Wash Cup, back in 83-84. So you have 22 regionalised groups of 4. Bournemouth's got Ascot, Moneyfield, and Bournemouth Sports, which they had already beaten Bournemouth Sports 3-0, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
The 22 winners and the 10 best finishing runners-up go to the cup knockout stage. Last season, they didn't manage to get that far. because the remaining runners-up and the best third-place teams go into the plate knockout stage, and that's what they won last season. So hopefully they'll win their mini league this season, and then they can go further. The three teams they're facing, Ascot, Moneyfield, and Bournemouth Sports, are all teams from the league below. So they certainly have a good chance. And I say currently they got 3 points, whilst which one is Moneyfield and Ascot both have 1 point. Bournemouth Sports has 0. So yeah, they got a good chance of getting further this season, and yeah, it should be a good game. They should win. Should.
we all know. We all know how football works, don't we? So, yeah, exciting either way. Especially if for the ladies, it's really, really good to see them excelling at the moment. Obviously, drawing against Exeter is probably their hardest result so far, but it was always going to be their hardest game anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely the hardest game. I say the first half, Exeter took the lead, even though we was completely dominant there. But the second half, Exeter probably edged it. But yeah, we kept fighting, and we managed to get our result. And I say, keep the unbeaten run going. It's unbelievable. 910 days I put in calculator since we last lost in the league to Cardiff City. 22nd of March, 23, I believe it was.
Wow. Yeah. Blimey. Okay. Well, yeah, that's only going to grow as well, isn't it? It's only going to continue. If we can get to 1,000 days, that surely is a milestone.
Yeah, it should be a little bit of a party if we manage to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Amazing. Really appreciate the update on all things AFCB ladies, Sean. That's awesome. Coming into the chat, Paul from Oz. Hi, guys. Big congrats to Dave DaCosta on Friday's show. Picked 11 players in the Spurs team correct and got the subs right. All good. Yeah, amazing. That's awesome. David DaCosta. Hats off to you, sir, if you managed to guess that. Did you guess the score? I'd be absolutely mind blown if you got all the Spurs players and the score correct. But no, amazing. Good effort. Malcolm, Matt has done a transfer window video that is out now on YouTube. We'll try and put the link in shortly. Yes, he has indeed. Please do go and watch that. Again, if you haven't already, press the notification bell, subscribe, like the channel. All of these videos that come out and get posted on the YouTube, you will get notified immediately anyway. So you can start setting up your evenings for watching and catching up on all things AFCB. Chris Hubble, morning, Mel. Thank you for having me on Cherry Slaps last night. And Dan Shaw, morning, Ollie and Sean. Decent transfer window for us and Toon. So we're going to come to the transfer window and just talk about two players which did make it over the line. I know that obviously there is a transfer window show. So go and watch that anyway. That's going to give full updates on most things, I imagine. But from my point of view, and just to discuss one of the players that came in, and I'm not sure how much you watch TV, Sean, but the amount of updates and it was actually shouted out quite loudly that Frano, Pinto, Neil Blake had been some of the first people in history to keep a signing of such size entirely secret, entirely away from social media, entirely away from any public knowledge whatsoever. And it seems that it's not really very possible or plausible to do that most of the time, but we have. And we've come away and we've signed in the end Veljko Milosavljevic from Red Star Belgrade. It looks like for a fee of around 14 million, 5-year contract. And again, he is one of these high-level experience, exposed to international presence. He looks like he could be a fantastic player. Have we got some immediate thoughts on this guy at all, Sean?
I'll just say it's absolutely brilliant that, getting a player without it being in the news, let alone two players really, it's unbelievable. I haven't heard it happen in God knows how long. And on the players themselves, I don't know which one it was, but I swear I read one's 1.92 meters high.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very unusual to have a tall defender in our line. I say we've always been known as quite a short team, so it'll give a different feeling to our team. And as I said in the cherry slaps, I don't know how we're gonna. If anyone could guess the lineup next week, and no, 2 weeks time because of the international break and that. Very good on them because we got so much quality there now. It's what we needed. We needed that depth, and Andoni's certainly going to earn his money. I'm trying to figure out where the team should go. The only sad thing is, I don't know if both of them, but I know one of them at least is going on to international duties. Wish they wouldn't go off to international duties, but you can't blame them that. It would be nice if they can gel with the team better, but yeah, it's certainly going to give Andoni a bit of earning money job to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, just before I go on to describe him a bit more, I just want to touch on these. Yeah, Mark McAdam from Sky announced it yesterday. Very funny bloke. Paul Sants, his name has got to be Milo. Easier to say. Yeah, for sure. I need to see what the back of his shirt says because at the moment I'm still struggling with Milosavljevic at the moment. I think that's what I've got. But yeah, Milo sounds better, Paul. I completely agree. And David DaCosta, no, Cherry's made my prediction. Great prediction, David. Really good prediction. Yeah, Sean, this guy is absolutely and without a doubt a long-term investment, right? He's 18 years old. He's a centre-back with international youth experience plus senior minutes under his belt. We've already got established centre-backs in place. So you'd like to think that the 5-year contract allows him to steadily integrate into the squad, build up his experience, and potentially become a defensive mainstay in the coming seasons under Iraola, or immediately turn him into a Dino. Gets brought into the Premier League at 14 million. He spends a season or two here, gets noticed by some bigger teams, and we sell him for 50 mil.
Yeah, I say it's not too bad. The only sad thing is obviously going to be Hill. Was expecting big things this season from Hill. He's still going to be a useful player in that, but with these signings and that, and Snessy stepping up, especially. How many minutes he'll get might be a lot more restricted than a few fans was expecting now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, if anything, that again just builds into the vision of what we're doing, though, right? Is there's enough players now to be battling for every spot on the pitch, which all that's going to do is allow us to get the best out of our players.
It shows how important the cup games can be, though. As you get more and more quality, your reserves are more and more quality, which means they need game time, and that's where these cup games become so important. So it's sad that we obviously got out of that, but still got the FA Cup. So
we do indeed, and these things happen. I think it was a good learning curve, and we've noticed that from this weekend's result for sure. Don Vito Scaletta, guys, massive respect to Cherries, but I would like to highlight that to unlock full potential of Bournemouth, you need Sterling and Disassi. So what do you say? I'm not 100% sure about Sterling. I'd take Disassi. I think Disassi is a great player. Whether we need him now as well as Milo and Jimenez. So yeah, does Jimenez play in the same position as Smith? Malcolm's confirmed. Yes, he does. I'm not sure if Disassi is now going to be entirely done or go through. I don't know. I think there's going to be some confirmation about that coming up, but I'm not even sure if that's on the show that Matt did last night for the transfer window stuff. However, I have a couple of other names to bring up, and again, I'm not 100% sure if they were mentioned last night. Just in the chat, quick, Paul Hill's position is definitely right back. He was good on Saturday. Yeah, he was good on Saturday, but I'm still expecting more from him at the moment, Paul. There was some games he had some fantastic run-outs last season, and I really want to see him build into that position and come into himself in the Bournemouth squad this season. I really want to see it. So hopefully he continues to get the chance. But just in regards to a couple of other players as well, not 100% sure if they will be brought up. on the transfer show, and that is, did you ever watch the Pathway on YouTube?
I don't think I managed to watch all of it. I think I watched some of it.
So the Pathway on YouTube was a 5-episode long introduction into our academy, how we're going to progress into Category 1. All of our players in the under 12s, under 14s, under 16s, under 18s, all the way up into our under 21s. Now, we've actually taken on 2 players from our under 21s and under 18s team, a goalkeeper and a centre-back. So Callan McKenna, who anyone who watched The Pathway would remember and recognise that name, and Owen Bevan, who's a centre-back. So that would make a bit more sense as to why we've let Paulson go back out on loan, because we now do have our academy backup coming into the squad. Just, I guess, to give them players a little bit more time, ready to be loaned out moving forward into the future. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone was aware of those 2 players coming into the full team squad. And again, obviously, Alex Jimenez from AC Milan being a right back. And now, as we've been talking about, Milos in centre back from Red Star. Malcolm, only sterling we need is pound sterling. It's accurate. And Don, you're not surprised me doing the Spurs match. Felt you guys were weak against Brentford. Yeah, 100%. But we weren't the side that we would have expected against Brentford, Don. We came out with a lot of changes, a lot of effort to try and understand some of our players and to see if things were working in certain strategies, and it didn't. It just didn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that we came out weak against Brentford squad-wise. I say you had some internationals there, you had regular teams that are first team or second team, and that. It's just a case of, as Andoni said, so many changes. There just wasn't a communication. I saw, for example, Christy and Julian both going to the joke, stay forward, so many times in that. And he kept going backwards and then sometimes forward. There just wasn't the communication in there. So it wasn't to do with the quality of the team. It was just a case of they hadn't worked together, so they just didn't have the communication.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, and you're right, because there were still standout players. There were still players putting in a ton of effort. There were still players being aggressive and trying to get in front of the ball and being hungry to get some ball time on that pitch to really make an effort for the first team. So, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. But again, it comes back to the fact that Andoni recognised all of those mistakes afterwards. And I think that's the most important thing is making a mistake like that in the 3rd game of the season, your first cup game, and taking it on the chin, and then coming back and getting that result against Tottenham. I think that's just tenacious as anything.
I just want to say something because I've got to research this. Mm-hmm. It's going backwards a step, but just in case. With the cup, it's basically the same as John Smith Trophy, where pretend Premier League Category 1 teams can actually go in it as well. Obviously, we're not Category 1, but if anyone knows, I'll do some research regardless. When we become Category 1, does that mean the women become Category 1? And that means we could do a youth development team that can go into the competition as well. So, yeah, I just thought about that.
I believe so. And that is only because the ladies' team is now officially part of AFCB, isn't it? It is an official AFCB ladies' team. In which case, their development and their coaching is all still at the same place where it goes on for the men's team, the under 10s, under 18s, under 16s, and so on. So I'd imagine so. But yeah, by all means, do some research and confirm with us. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Don, I hate to ask, but still curious, Chelsea fan. How do you rate Dordy Petrovic's performance, and is he worth it? Yeah. Yes. In answer to your question, yes, he is worth it. He's fallen into our team and has gelled, I think, very well. I think Saturday against Tottenham, he aligned perfectly with our defence. I think it was a solid performance all round, really. I think the only place where we didn't let ourselves down, because again, the hunger to try and get more goals, additional goals, to keep attacking, to stay in the final third in their half, we could have put more away, but that is going to be a training issue for some of the lads that had numerous shots on goals, and that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem to have, to stay in possession. And well, we didn't have as much possession, but the possession that we did have, we really capitalised on. We really made sure that it made a difference. We made sure that the passes were correct. We were attacking with it. So, yeah, I think from back to front, from Dordy Petrovic all the way up to Evan Nilsson on Saturday, we performed, and I'm happy, very happy with our performance for each of those players.
Yeah, I can't really fault with Petrovic. I think he's certainly the same level as Kepa, if not better. I say, this back line coming in with so little experience working together, and that obviously Truffo had a bit more time in that, but still such a change in the back line. And as the commentators are saying, you wouldn't know that it was a newly made back line, really.
No.
They've stepped in so brilliantly from goalie all the back five, basically. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. What would you rate the transfer business we've done? Because I personally would do 9 out of 10, and the only reason I'd say 9 is maybe someone up front, because it's starting to get consistent that we're not taking our chances. We're getting lots of chances, we're not taking them. So maybe forward on loan, but that's probably me being a bit greedy. But purely because of us not getting more goals, maybe that's what I'd say. And maybe a 9 out of 10.
So I'll be honest with you. From my personal view, it's a 10 out of 10. And I'm going to give you a reason why. And that is because when I started taking this Cherry AM show on, it was the start of May, right? And the amount of speculation and not negativity, but questions around how the club were not doing this and not doing that, and are we really going to recruit, and why are we letting these players go, and oh no, we're going to get picked apart by seagulls and go into the next season and be in a terrible position, and this, that, and the other, and all this panic and concern and anxiety around it. And the entire time, me and Malcolm were saying, guys, just trust the process. And I'm really happy that I didn't have any of those other feelings or emotions, because I've trusted the process. And Saturday, again, I cannot stress, I said it last night a number of times, Saturday has secured that for me. It really has showed why we've made these certain signings. It showed that the players we've let go have been entirely strategic. We haven't come into the season missing anyone or thinking back to times where we needed Dino or we needed Zaba. We don't do that. We're not doing it now. We're not going to need to do it in the season. So from my point of view, yeah, I can't complain at all. I think they've done it absolutely perfectly. They've created excitement and buzz and speculation all the way up until transfer deadline day, and then we come into deadline day after that result with Tottenham. So no, I can't complain. And yeah, for me, it was an incredible recruitment process in pre-season for players.
Yeah, I mean, I admittedly I was one of those that was worrying and stuff like that. I had faith in the recruitment team, but I think it wasn't so much that I didn't think the recruitment team wouldn't get players in. It's just the gelling time of them. That's why I say it was so amazing how they seem to gel so well together. With so little experience together. That's what I was worried about. And the recruitment, the training team have done so well to get them to gel so well together so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Only echo those words, mate. Malcolm, Dordy dominated the box against Spurs on Saturday. Yeah, can't necessarily disagree with that, Malcolm. Don, Diakite was solid too, but 2 build centre-backs are kind of confusing. Yeah, not something I could foresee, Don, to be honest, but working at the minute, which is all I can ask for. Stella, up the cherries in all departments. Yeah, Damn right. Don, Senesi can invert to mid when attacking in half. Senesi is exciting at the minute. I cannot lie. Senesi is doing everything he should be as the centre-back that he has been for the last couple of seasons. He is pushing into attack. He's assisting. He's opening up his body to be able to play out to the wings. He is being involved in those situations, and I'm very much looking forward to how he's going to be this season. Paul Sants, agree with Sean on transfers. Just worried if Evan Nilsson got injured. Let's hope he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Krupe, which I thought has done fairly well. He's come on. Clivert, we know what he can do. Semenyo, that hasn't been able to do well in front of goal last season when he was put up front. But as I said, one of the things I wanted him to do this season was get more shots directly on goal and that. And without checking the stats, I think he's doing that this season. So, yeah, we got different options, and that's why I said maybe just a loan of a player in case, but that's me being a bit greedy, really.
Fair enough. Stella finished 7th this season. Mark my words. Fantastic. Love the optimism. And we are at the moment currently 7th, so why not? Malcolm Jackson, goals will come from other players too. I don't buy into the narrative about lack of goals from either. His off-the-ball work rate is excellent. Yeah,
well, hopefully, because he's off the mark now, he'll start kicking it and start getting there.
Sean, trust the process, Malcolm says. Paul Sants, they did try to get a striker, I think. Yeah, I think there was some talk about it, but
yeah, then Andoni said he was definitely centre backs, but he did say a few times about a striker as well. So,
yeah, but
just couldn't find the right one, I guess.
Yeah, we missed the chance. We've got time to look at January's season transfer window now.
Yeah.
For now, we need to hunker down. We need to use the resources that we've got. As Malcolm just said there, trust the process. We are right in the bloody middle of this 5-year plan, and I'm very excited to see where the season comes. Now, we don't have a game this weekend, and I don't think I'm on Cherry AM either for the rest of the week. Sean, how's your scheduling looking?
Yeah, nothing's. I've got a new work pattern this week, but not on Cherry AM or anything like that anymore this week. My missus, she finished her radiotherapy yesterday.
Fantastic.
So we'll do a little. I think we might be going to Harvester today.
Yeah.
And do a little celebration thing for that. And yeah, new work pattern. And yeah, kids go back to school, one on Thursday, one on Friday. So
fantastic.
Yeah, a few things going on this week.
Good. Guys, just to reinstate, if you haven't seen the transfer window video last night, please do go and watch it. I know it is posted. Malcolm is attempting to put the link in the chat, but I don't think he's able to. So go and find it. I'll get Malcolm to post it on our Facebook group and our Facebook page after this, so everyone has easy access to it. But guys, appreciate you joining us again for another Cherry AM. It's always
just want to say with the Facebook page and that, two things. Obviously, I go to the women game. I try to video bits of it. So if anybody wants to see the actual goal against Exeter, done a little video on there. Showed Miss Nessie doing beautiful work there. And also I do a little bit of a preview show where I look at, it's only about no more than 10 minutes long, where I do a quick show saying about other clubs that Bill Foley owns, so like Hibs, like Auckland, just give a general update to them, like Lorient, they lost 7-1. They didn't have a good game against, I can't remember who it was now, but yeah, they lost 7-1. Any players the scoring recently, so like Moore, for example, that scored late win in the cup against Preston, and scored again at the weekend against the 2-0 win against Millwall. Kilkenny scoring for Swindon in their 3-0 win. And then going into the ladies' team, where I basically say who their opposition is and give them a bit more of a detailed knowledge about their opposition. And so you have a better understanding. I say, when we played Billericay Town before that, I would have known that they was a team that don't get paid, that should have got relegated. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to do that probably on a Saturday night before the game. And it's no more than 10 minutes long. So
Amazing.
yeah, if anybody wants to watch it and that,
Yeah, please
be my
do
guest.
go and tune into those bits and bobs that Sean is doing. They sound fantastic. All of these little bits of insights. He seems to be our resident on the ground for some things at the moment. So it's super, super helpful, Sean. We appreciate it. Yeah, and I'll be watching for sure on Saturday. I finally have some time off this weekend, so
how's the moving going and all that, Steve?
The moving has completed. I will show the house eventually once all the stuff is all sorted. But yeah, bigger house, bigger garden, and hopefully we can settle now for the next few years. So no more.
Just to say when the house party is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you again for joining me and co-hosting, Sean. Please
No
enjoy the rest of your day, mate, and we'll catch everyone again really soon. Up the cherries, and hope everyone has a great day.
Up the cherries.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.